So now we're going to solve some trigonometric equations. Number 1, change the following to radian or degree. So you all remember this equation. 360 over d r equals 2 pi. Oh no, what's going on? Oops, there, yeah, 2 pi. So we first put the 120 here, so 360 divided by 120 r equals 2 pi. So this would become 3r equals 2 pi, which would result in radian equaling to 2 pi over 3. Yay! Now let's do this one. 360 over d, because we don't have the degrees this time, we have the radian, so 360d times 2 pi over 3 equals 2 pi. So 360 times 2 pi is 720. So 720 pi over d3 equals to 2 pi. So then we would put this below here. So it would be 720 divided by 2 pi, which would be 360, which would equal to d3. So 360 divided by 3 is 120. So in degrees, this would be 120 degrees. Yay! Now let's solve some more difficult questions. Number 2, solve for x. So we know that pi over 4 is equivalent to 4 pi over 12, which equals to 60 degrees. So this would be sine 60 equals x. So then 30, 60, 90 triangle. The opposite of 60 is 30, which is square root 3 over 2, which means x equals square root 3 over 2. Now cosine 5 pi over 6 is equivalent to 10 pi over 12, which when you multiply by 15 equals to 150. But in a unit circle, 150 is here. So if you subtract 90 from 150, that's 60, and then 90 minus 60 equals 30. So technically this is also a 30-degree triangle. So 30 degrees. So the opposite of 30 would be 1/2. However, because this is cosine, which is dealing with the base, square root 3 over 2 is the answer. So x would equal to square root 3 over 2. But wait, it's below, it's behind, it's to the left, it's to the left, meaning it is negative. So cosine 5 pi over 6 equals negative square root 3 over 2. Number 3, calculate the value of each expression. Pi over 12, which equals to 60. To find it in the third quadrant would be 30. So sine of 30 is equal to negative square root 3 over 2, which we should memorize now from the 30, 60, 90 degrees angle, because the opposite of 30 would be 60, which is square root 3 over 2. And like I said, negative, because in the unit circle, it's in this quadrant below the x-axis, and everything below the x-axis in terms of sine is negative. So cosine negative 2 pi over 3 times 4, so negative 8 pi over 3, which is equal to 120. Negative 120, of course. So negative 120 is equivalent to negative 60, and that equals to negative 1/2, because 120 would be right here in this area, and everything on this side is negative. Find the value of the following expressions. So for this one, I better write smaller so everything can fit. So sine 4 pi over 3, as I told you before, it's equal to 240 degrees, because if you times 4, first by 4 and then by 15. So yeah, I'll write it here for you. Times 4, then by 15, and then 240 can be converted to 60 degrees in quadrant 3. So the answer in the sign, because it's 60, is negative square root 3 over 2. And it's negative because, as I said before, it's in this quadrant, below the x-axis. So cosine 5 pi over 4 is equal to 225 degrees if you times it by 3 first and then by 15 to get the degrees. And this can be translated into 45 degrees in the third quadrant, which would equal to negative square root 2 over 2 if you remember the 45, 45, 90 degree triangle. And like I said, to the left of the y-axis, so it's negative. Now tangent pi over 2. So as I said, sine theta over cosine theta is equal to tangent. So this means it would be pi over 2, sine pi over 2 over cosine pi over 2. And because this is at this point in the unit circle, I'll draw it here. It's right here. It's this point here. Sine is the height, so this would be 1, and cosine would be 0 because it's right here. So 1 over 0, is that possible? No, that means this is undefined. Yes, undefined, because tangent is the slope, and you cannot have a vertical slope.